Lawbite.
Hello and welcome back to Lawbite. Blizzard have released a brand new comic once again, our 12th edition. As always, this leaves me extremely excited for the potential information we might learn, be it about the past, present or future. There's always new things to see, and to add to previous theories or even ruin some. In Uprising, we go back to the past in the final days of Overwatch, just before its fall. We see many members of Overwatch, new and old, and see things from their perspectives at the time. Questions we've been asking, finally answered. Let me set the scene. The Omnic Crisis was just crushed, defeated by the original 6, who then went on to form Overwatch, the organization that watches over the safety of Earth and not just one area. Nations are irrelevant. Humanity is their charge. Though Overwatch has done a fine job of protecting the world and has taken down massive criminal organizations and defended the world from its darkest hour, it's facing scrutiny over the recent events, as the public have learned of the faction inside of Overwatch known as Blackwatch. Split into two sides of one coin, Overwatch is the public's image of the organization. It functions to show the public the power and importance of Overwatch, to be their shining hero, a symbol of hope and kindness. But the harsh reality is, you can't save everyone, and information can't always be gathered through kindness. Sacrifices have to be made. Sometimes darker deeds are required. And so, Blackwatch, the other side of the coin. Special op forces trained to do what is necessary, things the public should never see, can never see. But that's the thing, they did see. At this time, Blackwatch has actually been suspended, and after many complaints from different nations, the public's view of Overwatch, after they've actually discovered the nature of Blackwatch, has sunk. Criticism and eventually hate have been forming, and at this time, the public were beginning to call for Overwatch's termination. And so the comic begins. McCree stalks the burning streets of London, the city on fire and ablaze with conflict in a desperate need of help. Rebellion had ravaged the streets, and the Omnics were sick of the constant cruelty and punishment they had endured for years after the horrors of the Omnic Crisis, something that they were not entirely to be blamed for. Humanity was harsh and unforgiving, however, though it's understandable, but after this much time, well, not so much. The Omnics have been treated like monsters, made to work hard, and in return receive nothing but hate, a lack of rights, and no official home, like a beast. This rebellion should come at no surprise to anyone. As McCree passes through, he heads for a power plant, a hostage situation containing Mondatta, the leader of the Shambhala, a symbol of peace and hope for the Omnics. The possibility for humans and Omnics to resolve their hate lie with this man and his faction, the possibility to live in unity. Mondatta was simply an Omnic the world could not lose right now. And one man can't do this mission alone. True to its name, McCree was being watched by the leaders of Overwatch from the Swiss headquarters. Anna, Gabriel and Jack were discussing just why McCree was even there in the first place. Yes, the people needed help, desperately, but Blackwatch was suspended. McCree and his fellow Blackwatch agents should not be active right now, and McCree is walking around London doing a mission. And worst of all, even Overwatch itself has been forbidden to enter London, the Prime Minister himself refusing their help. Very few people trusted Overwatch anymore, even at a time like this. As Anna and Jack begin their questioning, given the rules, it must have been Gabriel who sent McCree in alone. I've made multiple videos about Anna, Jack and Gabriel, about the trio who were once united but are now broken. But this is what I've been waiting for. Any evidence to show me that Reaper might be a double agent, or to disprove that theory. I'd be happy to see either. But given this conversation, I'd say it discredits the theory, sadly. Gabriel is operating Blackwatch despite the suspension, and he's even doing it against the wishes of Anna and Jack, who both don't know anything about what Gabriel is really doing anymore. After being denied the right to help again, Gabriel just simply leaves. He's sarcastic and a little unkind. He claims London must be fine if they don't want help, and bitterly brings up the fact that he's never been acknowledged for his sacrifice and his heroism like Jack was, with his titles, rights, the respect, the leadership, and with his big ridiculous statue just outside. But despite Gabriel's actions, Anna can't help but agree with him. London truly needs help right now, and it should be Overwatch who decides to help or not. People are dying, and they can save them, but Jack knows what's going to happen if they involve themselves against the wishes of the world. The end of Overwatch. The public may hate them, and if they go in and mess up in any way, Overwatch is all over. Meanwhile, in the training room, Holy shit. Look at my boy Genji. Hell yeah. Oh my god, that's so fucking fantastic, man. Look at this dude. We actually get to see him in the flesh. Well, part flesh. We know Genji was reborn as a cyborg, but we didn't get to see just how much of him actually remains. How much is machinery, how much is man, right? And I mean, look at that. He's lost most of his upper body, an entire arm, and the lower half is just gone. Now, his heart remains, and the brain. Lucky for him, eh? But not much else does. Why this is so important to me is the fact that it's during the living weapon age of Genji. Think of Widowmaker. She's also a living weapon. In Widowmaker's case, she is a being of no emotion and controlled by talent. But in this case, and look at it, man, Genji is just a being of pure hatred, of revenge, of fury, down to the very blood red color of his eyes, man. Holy shit. Brought back from the dead, Genji had agreed to help Overwatch destroy his clan, which was a massive organization that operates in Japan. A crime clan. Crime clan. I mean, that's fun to say. Almost killed by his brother, Genji's current existence has only one purpose: to destroy the Shimada clan. Now, he joined Overwatch because they'd make it possible. He could use them to get his revenge. And look at that logo. He's part of Blackwatch, a detail I didn't know until just now. Now, yes, it makes complete sense. The heir to a huge crime organization that Overwatch is actually directly against, suddenly a member of Overwatch itself. I mean, I doubt the public would be happy with a crazed killing machine Terminator on their side. So he'd be kept out of sight in this case, so him being part of Blackwatch makes complete sense, but it's just a new detail that we never had confirmed. Alright, back on track. He's facing off against Tracer, and Winston and Mercy are overlooking, both testing their own experiments. Now you see, Mercy brought Genji back, right? And Winston brought Tracer back, so they're both there for their own entity or whatever. But Tracer, the new addition, is actually the one in question here, which is lame because I wanted to learn more about Genji, obviously. As the comic continues, we learn that this is just before Tracer's first entrance as an active agent of Overwatch. She's learning to control her newfound abilities thanks to the chronal accelerator Winston made to anchor her to the present timeline. Today, we know Tracer was the most successful agent Overwatch had ever seen, but back then, when she was still learning, she still showed huge potential. She's completely outplaying my boy Genji, the living weapon, already, and she's barely breaking a sweat. Lame. So that shows you just how powerful her time-traveling abilities truly are in combat. Impressed, Jack decides to meet her himself, but before he can do that, he's questioned by Mercy. Now, she knows the situation in London, she knows that Overwatch is denied the right to help, but she questions her leader, not London's leader. Why would he even hesitate when lives are being lost? The public needs saving, even if it thinks it doesn't. And this is why Overwatch exists. You know, they should help. And Jack, again, he can't win. He's mentally and physically exhausted, and he's unable to escape the ideals of Overwatch that are demanded of him and his agents. And he's unable to ignore the threat that London needs help. But if they do help, he could lose it all. The weight of leadership is heavy. Lena enters and ignores Jack almost entirely, which is amazing. She's not even an agent yet. She's not even spoke to Jack, the leader of Overwatch, at all. And this is the man that she looks up to, you know, the strike commander. She should, by all rights, be mega nervous and, hell, at least respectful, right? But none of that mattered to her at all in that moment, compared to the situation in London, her home. Now, she knows what Overwatch is and why she wanted to join. Yet here Overwatch sits, useless, and not even an active agent yet. She asks Jack, why? And the answer she receives is just too weak. They're apparently not allowed to help, which is simply not good enough. The next Omnic crisis could break out after this. London could fall. She joined Overwatch to help, but not watch. And in this little speech she gives Jack, she sounds just like Jack himself back when he originally signed up to the American Army, when he fought to stop this robotic hell, when he signed up to the enhancement program and sacrificed his body to become the super soldier needed to save Earth. It was like Jack was speaking to his younger self when he was talking to Lena. And he knows that his younger self would not have hesitated with this decision. Overwatch was the answer to that hell, Earth's salvation. And today it still was, Jack finally realized. So, an elite team was formed. A small squad to be sent in to do what others could not, just like old times. Torbjorn, Mercy, and Reinhardt are gearing up to be joined by Overwatch's newest, Tracer. Torbjorn, you son of a bitch. This is your fault. You're the reason for the horrendous line that we have to hear all the fucking time. I've never felt so betrayed by a dwarf. Well, at least he redeems himself by shunning her almost instantly. Good man. Together, they head out to go back up the one-man army of McCree, to go save Mondstadt and London, to prevent a new Omnic crisis, to do what Overwatch was made to do, save the world. Just like old times. Damn, that's crunchy. Wow, wow, wow. What a comic, man. What a story. It was like Christmas for those who care about the lore. I mean, there's so many theories based around this time during the fall of Overwatch and, you know, who caused it and why. And more than anything, I enjoyed seeing the characters' perspectives. You know, you rarely get to see what's going on in their heads and what they're actually thinking. I'm saddened to see Gabriel act the way he did in this comic, but I'd like you to consider the fact that he made the same choice Jack did, actually, but much faster. He sent McCree out even against the wishes of his friends because he knows what needs to be done. Because he acted so fast and sent McCree out right away before even getting confirmation or worrying about the rules, McCree will have gone out there and saved lives that not even this team that's sent by Jack can. Because of Jack's hesitation, people will have died. And because of Gabriel's lack of hesitation, people will have survived. So that's something to consider. I'm still holding out hope for Gabriel. If we look at that old faithful picture of the Overwatch team, we realize that this was taken after this comic, after Uprising, and they look happy, you know, successful. So based on that, the mission that they go on here to save London was obviously a success, given that we saw Mondstadt in the present, and because of this picture where they're all, you know, together after a successful mission, but also another picture we saw of Overwatch shaking hands with officials. This mission must have gone so well that it put Overwatch back in the positive side of the public. But again, we do know that it didn't last, because Overwatch did fall eventually, so there's a lot of questions there, man. We got to see a lot of the real weight of leadership that Jack had to deal with, the strong advice that he draws from his team, every member, new or old, and the living weapon Genji during his training to destroy the Dragon Clan. What a boss, dude. Oh my god, I can't get over how cool he looked. I hope that that's a skin in-game at some point, like an Origin version of Genji. You know, could easily do that for Winston and Tracer as well, to go with the other Origin skins already in game. I know Tracer does have an Origin skin technically, but it's before she was actually Tracer. It was her pilot outfit. I'd like to see her in the outfit she's wearing in this comic, where she's a first-time agent. Not to mention Mercy, Torbjorn, and Reinhardt as well with their Overwatch colors. Could easily see that too. And we also got to see the Swiss headquarters before it was destroyed by Jack and Gabriel in their final fight. Now, we saw it functioning and filled with life, which was really interesting to see. Or, well, I guess at least it was to me. But thanks to this comic, I now have a lot of things that I'm going to be able to discuss in more specific topic videos with theories that can be made and, well, many that have been ended with it. I can't wait to get to it in the future Lore Bites. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed it, hit the like button, and a huge thank you to my patrons who make this all possible. These lovely people make it possible for me to continue doing YouTube without any worry that I have enough money to function and keep going. In return, the patrons get to see videos early and get some other exclusive rewards, so if you'd like to check out my Patreon, definitely check it out. The link is in the description. Have a good one, guys. I'll see you next time.